Hello, BitSquad and prospective BitSquad members. That's what we call our community here at BitBoy Crypto. I'm your humble and faithful leader, BitBoy. I provide you with videos that you can watch with your eyes and hear with your ears. Even podcasts that you can also hear with your ears and watch with your eyes. It's really incredible stuff. So, we are almost at 10,000 subscribers. We are at 9,998, and we would love for you to be one more. So I thought, what better way to redo an intro video for the channel than to take a look back at the beginning of the channel up until now. The growth from 0 subscribers, that's not actually true because I immediately subscribed to my own account with 10 different email addresses. So I started off with 10. But the journey from 10 subscribers all the way to 10,000, it's been very difficult in the bear market. However, it has been worth it. It has been rewarding. The BitSquad is my family. And if you're not a member, we would love for you to come and be a member of our channel. But let's take a look back at the last year and a half. So for you guys that don't know how I started the channel as an animated cartoon series called BitBoy and HODL. That's where BitBoy comes from. The logo that I created, an animated character, and over time, people started referring to me as BitBoy, so that's why I'm a grown man, and you can call me BitBoy. It just makes sense, right? Obviously. So what I've actually done is I've shelved the idea of the animated cartoon series, but it will come to pass at some point. I'm actually in talks with some people right now to try to get that resurrected. But actually, the theme song that I created for the show is where the show's intro comes from. A lot of you guys may wonder what that is or what it says. I'm going to show you a clip from the video right now. So yes, that's where He's BitBoy comes from. It actually comes from the theme song of BitBoy and HODL. Then the channel was called BitBoy and HODL, and that was the first video. Along with the intro, in the first video, was an animated, spoof I did of Carlos Matos on a talk show with BitBoy and HODL. Let's check out just a little snippet of that. And during that time with BitConnect, what kind of return on investment did you get?
I started with only $140,000, and right now I am reaching $25,610. Whoa, what's up?
Ouch. That sounds like you lost over $100,000. That's absolutely brutal. So what I started realizing is, unfortunately, I just wasn't getting the views and the interaction, the engagement to equal the amount of time I was putting into animating those. I'm not like an artist or anything like that. I'm just a guy that picked up some skills. I have some skills. I learned how to crudely animate. Obviously, the animation is not top notch. That was actually the first go I did any animation. So I decided, you know what? Maybe if I do video memes on the channel, that would actually be better. So this is the first video meme that I made. I started realizing that this was not going to be an effective way to grow the channel. Now, as you guys know, these video memes that I was making at the time, those are really the precursors for what I use as my original content intros for my Fresh 5 videos today. You always, with the news video, you always get a really cool intro. Oh, I think it's cool anyways, and a lot of people think they're funny. And if you don't think they're funny, what are you doing here on this channel? But anyways, guys, I digress. The fact is, it wasn't going to be an effective way to grow my channel. So my friend Justin talked to me about starting a news channel similar to Crypto Daily. He was really the motivation and inspiration for me, for the way I started my channel. And so I made a news video kind of against my, my better judgment. I didn't want to be on the camera, but I knew to grow the channel, that's what I was going to have to do. So I had another YouTube channel before that was a huge failure, huge flop, and I didn't necessarily want to go through all that again. So I decided I was going to do it, and I made my first news video, and here is a snippet from that. Welcome to Your Daily Crypto News, where we take a look at some of the news stories going on that affect cryptocurrency. It was lame, it was dry, it was informational, there was some good information in the video, but it took me a lot of time and practice to figure out how to do it the right way and come across the way I want to come across as my authentic self. It's really hard when you first get on YouTube. For those of you that may want to have, a career or, a hobby as a YouTuber, you got to figure out how to translate your authentic self onto camera. And a lot of YouTubers are actually introverts and they have to ramp themselves up. Well, I'm so over the top in real life that I always felt like I had to tame myself down and tone it down for the camera. But eventually I figured out how to actually just be myself and be authentic on the camera, just like I was talking to you like you were in the room. But I'm glad you're not in the room because that might be kind of weird. But, that was one thing. A couple of issues came from this first video. Number one, I got a comment that was since deleted by the user, not by me, that basically just told me how terrible I was and that I was really, really horrible at doing news videos and I should never do another one again. And the interest was starting to wane in cryptocurrency at the time. However, there was still enough to kind of get some views on some videos. So I got a lot of opinions from different people on what I should do. Now I took that comment, basically he said, you know what, I've got plenty of YouTubers I watch for news and you're not gonna be one of them. You have nothing to separate yourself from any of these other crypto YouTubers. So I use that as motivation to continue to try to improve the channel. So I'm always continuing to improve. And when I look back at those early videos, like a part of me cringes, but then the other part of me says, man, you know what? Like, look how far I've come and I've continued to improve. And probably when I make another one of these videos, when we hit 100,000 subscribers or 50,000, whatever the next milestone will be, I will probably look back at this video and be like, man, I had no idea what I was doing with editing. I'm sure Crypto Daily probably does that, as he's always getting so much better with his editing and things like that. So that was one thing that came up. The other thing is what to do with my head. Because my wife told me, Mom of Wild Things on Twitter, you can follow her, she told me that my hat covered my eyes and you couldn't even see me throughout the video, and it's actually true if you were to watch the whole video and some that I did with the hat. So I decided I was going to try going no hat, which I had my head shaved at the time. If you notice, I also did not have my beard. There was like a weird window of a couple days over the last few years. I didn't have a full beard, I just had a goatee, and it just happened to be during that time when I made this first video. But, basically I tried going without the hat, and that was also a big fail because my head, my gray hair kind of blends in with my green screen. I don't have these same luscious locks I have today. I actually got my hairs cut today, actually, just for this video. It's really for you. 300 million tokens is a huge amount for them to print. If you're unfamiliar with Tether, it's a token that is tethered to the US dollar, so it's supposed to always stay around the value of $1 US. So who would have thought that all these months later, over a year later, we would still be talking about Tether almost every day? But the point is I didn't like that look or whatever. The green screen, you can't really tell necessarily in that clip, but it wasn't good. I had this box that I built in my house, and the green screen just wasn't high quality. Now I've got like green screen wallpaper, which is really sweet. Peels off, kind of like a fathead if you know what that is. But I decided for my next video, I was going to debut a backwards hat, strictly because it was going to help with my green screen. I didn't know that the backwards hat would basically become my trademark. I never really wore backwards caps before. I usually would wear them kind of like you saw in the first video. I had worn some backwards in the past, but not as a regular thing. So it was just kind of funny how, something that I did kind of just functionally to do something that would help my videos turned out to be something that people know me as. Like, I wear the backwards hat. So of course, then I made my own merch where I got my own logo here. You can find those on bitboycrypto.com. Nobody's bought a hat in a minute. You guys go buy them. They're really nice. But anyways, so it's not a coincidence, I don't think. This is very interesting. The video where I debuted the backwards hat, which from that point forward would be a fixture on the channel, was actually the first video where I talked about IOST way before I ever knew that I was going to be involved with the project. iOS token is another interesting token. If you've heard of IoT, Internet of Things, iOS token is iOS, Internet of Services. So it really goes to provide payment and tip solutions, if you will, to people that are providing services on the internet. I'm on the internet providing a service. Maybe I should invest in this coin. So interestingly enough, I had no idea what iOST was at that point, as you could tell. I actually did a review of iOST a couple weeks after that and actually figured out what it really was. It's not like a tipping system for Internet of Services. That was some bad information I had gotten from another video. That's why it's important to do your own research. But, you know, the thing is at that time is, you know, I realized that really, as you can see, my content was not great, and I had to figure out a way to grow the channel because I wanted to improve and I wanted to have audience, you know, an audience that was, you know, a community. I really wanted to cultivate a community, and that's where the BitSquad was born. So funny enough, the BitSquad actually originally was going to be the name of, you know, the superhero BitBoy and all, you know, kind of like the Avengers, but the BitSquad. And so I kind of had this name in my back pocket, and that's what we ended up naming the community, and it's been an absolute smash hit. We have probably the best community in all of YouTube. You guys are the most loyal community out there. You know, so many members of the BitSquad, like it's hard for me to start naming names because I know I'm going to leave people out, but people like Armando, for sure, who's become a good friend of mine. We do a sports podcast together. Jalen, Shahid, it was probably the first member of the BitSquad. Ravi, Daniel, Reno, Madcaw, so many of you guys, Rohan, Ron, so many of you guys that were there in the beginning. We had some people that were there in the beginning that aren't here anymore. Sean, some other folks, Jack. Big shout out to all of you guys. I know I missed like a million people, but I want you guys to know that I really appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. So one way I really started developing the community was to do giveaways, and that's how I drew people to the channel. I would say, you know what? Come for the giveaways, but stay for the community and the content. So this was actually our first contest live stream, the first live stream I ever did on the channel, and I was terrified. You can actually see the green box that I used to record in. What is up, everybody? So I'm gonna give just a few seconds here, maybe a minute or so. We are going to be picking our winner for our contest, and I'm hoping I can figure out how to do a screen share here. Spoiler alert, I did not figure out how to do anything the right way on that video. My first live stream, I think, was like 6 minutes long. And I didn't know if people would show up or not. A few people showed up at the end. I answered a couple, like maybe 1 or 2 questions after we announced the winner. But unfortunately, like I couldn't figure out a way to show the screen at that point. So that would come much later. Live stream on YouTube with OBS, you know, it's open source broadcasting software. It was very intimidating at first. And so get into that a little bit more here in a minute. But, you know, the first interview we had on the channel was my friend Crypto Brecky. He was going by Crypto Breakfast back then. Still friends to this day. This is a picture of us. I hope I'm pointing the right way. One of these sides. A picture of us recently in Times Square. Come a long ways from this first video interview that I used to do in a series I used to call Faces of Crypto.
Would you mind actually? I'm very like uncomfortable. I need to like get more comfortable. And oh, there we go, much better. Oh,
that's the gear right there.
Oh, this is my favorite T-shirt with my heroes in the crypto world, BitBoy and HODL. So I thought I had to plug them real quick.
So Brecky and I go way back. We basically started our accounts at the same time, so it's really cool to see we're still friends. We're part of a group called the Satoshi Droppers. These people are my family in crypto. We've been together for a long time. Definitely want to give some of those people a shout out. J Chains, obviously we'll talk about the podcast in a second. Crypto Stash, Wendy, TJ from Young Dumb Crypto, Coin Boys, Bella, Hodl Crypto, Crypto Sanity, Keith, Makai, Fat Bitcoin, Crypto Collective, Dirty Dan, Crypto Leslie, Crypto Model, Christopher Crypto started out here in the BitSquad, moved over to the Satoshi Droppers, Javier, Zigzag, and big shout out to Mark from Encrypted Apparel, who, even though he's disappeared off the face of planet Earth, actually started the group. So definitely a lot of content creators in there. You know, you guys I know Wendy and Stash and a lot of those people. So these people are my family. We were actually able to take part, a lot of us, in something called Crypto Cake, where we're still in talks. It's still going on. It's been pushed back due to the markets, where we're going to have our own TV shows. It's going to be a 24/7 cryptocurrency television network. My show is called The Fudbuster. I'll put a couple pictures of that up. But like I said, got to shout out those people, because if it wasn't for them, there's no way I would have continued on in this, in creating content without their support and encouragement. And so one of my horror stories of the channel actually involves Bella. You guys probably know Bitcoin Bella from Twitter, crypto Twitter, one of my many homes of communities. And, Bella was so nice. She was the first person that had like a decent sized account, and it was pretty big, over 15,000 people I think she had back then on Twitter, to agree to come on my show. And I was really excited. And so, we did this interview. It was part of Faces of Crypto. And let me tell you guys, it was a disaster. So the first time we recorded it, I literally forgot to hit the record button, and we got to the end, and I was so embarrassed. I was like, Bella, you won't believe this. I forgot to hit the record button. So we did like a 30-minute interview, and it was completely gone. So she was so nice. She was like, I'll schedule to come back on or whatever, So she was like so nice about it. And so she came back on, and my computer messed up. It was the last days of my last MacBook I had. I ended up having to get a new MacBook after this. So it messed up the recording. So none of it recorded, even though I hit the record button. It was an absolute nightmare. 2 times in a row. She made 30 minutes to come on the show, and I botched it both. Luckily, it's pretty much the only horror story I have from doing, interviews and things like that. But she was so nice. She came back on for a 3rd time. I asked her different questions every time. So definitely, it was a cool episode to have her on, but it was really, to me, like a testament of how strong the crypto community is, because you have this person that, like, really, I just wasted her time, like 2 different times. But she's like, no, we're friends. It's cool. I'll come back on and do it. And so, it's been really cool to meet Bella in person a couple times when we were at conferences and things like that. She's definitely a really good person. And, if you're not following her on Twitter, make sure that you are. But I also got to give a shout out to really the person who I attribute most of my growth in crypto to, which is Crypto Love. This guy, Randall, he is an awesome dude. He's got a funny personality on his videos. He's super genuine in person, and definitely got to give him a big shout out. He's the one that actually connected me with Crypto Beatles and Crypto Crow and, a lot of these bigger content creators that, in my size at the time, only having a few hundred subscribers, like, there was no way I could actually, get in touch with or, have a relationship with in terms of, creating content together or doing live streams, whatever it might be. And so Crypto Love was the first person to respond to me and tell me that he would actually come on my channel. And it was really exciting. He was like, yeah, dude, like, you do good stuff. I'll come on. And so he came on the channel. I think I got 200 or 300 subscribers like the day that he came on, which was really, really cool. But, we became friends after that. And it really opened up this whole new world of me for going to conferences and actually knowing people at the conferences and things like that. But, this was the thumbnail from when we actually did that first live stream together. So I definitely owe him, a big, big thank you, for that. There's definitely other content creators. Jacob Canfield is one who I had lunch with and got to meet, and Mark Moss, his partner with Signal Profits, and things like that. Also, Crypto Zombie, big shout out to K-Dub. He's definitely been, really cool. There's a lot of people in the crypto community that have been really, really cool. And, if it wasn't for that support, once again, like, that support is what makes this community work. In the last year and a half, I've gained 10,000 YouTube subscribers, 15,000 Instagram followers, and 12.5 thousand Twitter followers. Like, you can't do that in other niches. Try my sports podcast. We've been doing it for 3 months. We got like 15 subscribers. It's hard, but crypto is such a welcoming community. Now, there definitely have been a few people that have turned me down or said they didn't want to work with me or whatever the case may be. But, that's their prerogative. But very thankful to all the content creators out there who accepted me into this family. A lot of these guys were able to build their channels during the time when they had, when the bull run was going on and things were going parabolic and the interest was up and people were growing, and I got in on the tail end of that. So, it's definitely good for those people that kind of already have those big followings to accept me and accept the channel and really help me to make better content. So definitely want to say, big thank you to all of those guys. So as the last year and a half has gone on, I've been able to go to more conferences. Big shout out to Crypto Model. She was the first one that hooked me up with a ticket to a conference before a conference would give me a complimentary ticket. So definitely big shout out to her. I went up to Atlantic City for the Blockchain World Conference. Then I ended up going to Chicago in September, where I met my boy Jay Chains, of course, Beards and Bitcoin's podcast co-host with me. And Jay Chains has become absolutely one of my best friends in the world. Definitely looking forward to very soon. We're going to be recording live together at least a couple times a month and things like that. So the podcast has been absolutely amazing. And we met each other at the Voice of Blockchain conference in Chicago, and we just really hit it off. And I was like, you know what? Let's do a podcast. And so it was within days we were recording a podcast, and we didn't even really know each other that well, but it's been one of those things that has definitely been super awesome to watch develop. And just going to conferences has been so amazing. I've been to Las Vegas, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Atlantic City, Texas, and I know I'm forgetting some, and it's just been absolutely amazing to get to meet all of these people in real life. And, I've said many times, these people who start out as my internet friends, they've become my real friends in real life, and that's definitely been a really cool part of having this channel. So just quickly want to go through a little history of some of the videos that were significant, thumbnails that were significant, whatever it might be in the history of the channel. So first we got COOLWALLET. This was the first company that worked with me, the first company that sent me something to review. I really felt like a big shot. So big shout out to COOLWALLET for, being the first company to take a chance on me as a content creator. And definitely, got the $200 wallet for free. And, you guys know I did the review. I've worked with them, a couple different times, wrote a Medium article for them. So it's definitely a good relationship. So, next one I want to go over is a thumbnail. This was the first thumbnail where somebody told me I had a punchable face and they wanted to punch me. What do you think? Does it look punchable? I look kind of like I had just been punched by Lil Mac in Mike Tyson's Punch Out. But that was one of those moments where I really realized that you have to have tough skin on the internet. If you're going to create, that's one thing you have to have is tough skin, because people will come after you for stupid, insignificant stuff. So this thumbnail was my most hated thumbnail. I got so much hate on this thumbnail. People hate a crying baby. Basically, like, we had just had a dip, and my whole thing with putting it on there was like everybody's crying about the dip or whatever, and people hated it. I posted on the subreddit for Walton Chain, and those people absolutely destroyed me. So I got like 10 comments about why people hated that thumbnail so much. So I didn't get it. I didn't understand why they hate the babies, but I guess people hate everything these days. So here we got Vitalik, Buterin, Thug Life. These are just some of my favorite thumbnails that I did or whatever. Some of them are live streams with some other creators, but I thought this one was pretty cool. Vitalik, Buterin, and Thug Life. There's a little part in that video where I call him Vitalik Buterin. So you could tell I was definitely young in my crypto news career there. So thought this one was kind of funny. Just I look like a pirate. Arr, matey. Definitely thought that was pretty cool one. And then this is my favorite thumbnail I ever made, which was the me versus Craig Wright, crypto super villain. I'm probably going to get sued for it one day by him. But definitely thought this was a cool one. Like, it just really matched up where the graphic matched the way I cut my head out, or cut my head off, and the way I did Craig's as well. So I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know. You guys let me know if you guys have a favorite thumbnail that you guys have had or you guys have seen. Let me know. So then I definitely had some that were some collaborations. We had Fudbusters with Crypto Love, Miggity Miner, and Crypto Disruption. This was pretty cool because later on, my show at Crypto Cake is called Fudbuster. Absolutely no connection, but, kind of a precursor to that, even though I didn't realize it. Walking Dead, I love Walking Dead. It's my favorite show that's on TV pretty much. I mean, I love Better Call Saul as well, but I watch a lot of Walking Dead videos, so it was cool to put myself on Rick Grimes' head before he, well, no spoiler alert. That was with Crypto Beatles, Crypto Love. Hashoshi was the first person I ever did a collab with. We exchanged videos. We talked about our favorite cryptocurrencies a long time ago, and we both had like 300 subscribers. Crypto Stash was in that one as well. Then we had the Brady Bunch one that was definitely pretty interesting. It was one that, we got nominated for an award for the Crypto Influencer Awards, which you guys didn't know. I did win the Golden Upvote, which some consider to be the most prestigious award in the Crypto Influencer Awards, which last year, you know, I didn't even get nominated. I wasn't even really doing the channel yet, so it was cool to be recognized for that. They put together a really cool video for me and things like that. But this was Jacob Canfield, Keith Waring, Crypto Beatles, Crypto Disruption, Miggity Miner, and Crypto Love. It was definitely a cool live stream to have that many people on at one time. Then, of course, we have the famous TRONSGIVING video. This was one of my favorite videos I did. I mean, I told a little story to my kids. I did it on Thanksgiving while we were watching football. And this was basically where Justin's son and I end up having a Tronky dinner. If you don't know what a Tronky dinner is, that's where a turkey rides into Thanksgiving dinner on a Tron cycle, and then you eat it. So that was definitely a pretty funny video that I did. Of course, my FUD Trump videos, which, by the way, are not a political statement in any form or fashion. It's just funny to, you know, call FUD fake news and things like that. So, you know, this was a cool video where I was actually able to, like, play both roles at split screen. So definitely thought it was cool. I felt like Jean-Claude Van Damme in Double Impact. It's crazy, like, what was really revolutionary back in, like, the 80s and 90s, like, almost anyone can do now, which is, like, to put yourself on the screen at the same time. So, or to double put yourself on the screen at the same time. I don't think I'm saying that rightly. What is wrong with me? To have two versions of yourself on the screen at the same time is what I'm trying to say. This was Flippin' Friday. This was the second rap video I did with my brother-in-law. It was kind of cool. You know, the idea is based on Freaky Friday from Lil Dicky, but it's Flippin' Friday. You know, Bitcoin and Ethereum switch bodies. Real funny. You guys should go check it out if you can, if you have time. Then, of course, we had the first rap anime. These are all animated. I animated both of these by all myself. So this was BitBoy in blockchain. So Gucci Gang parody. It was really funny. I thought it was. So, you know, you guys might want to go check that one out. Then this is from the actual first panel I was ever on at a conference, official panel. I did a fireside chat before, but this was Crypto Crow, Jason Appleton, Mark Moss, Crypto Love, Crypto Zombie, and also Bitcoin Ben, who's been on my podcast and stuff before. Definitely a cool guy. And Crypto Beatles was the moderator. So it was cool to get recognized. Like, at that time, I was definitely much smaller than I am now. Not that I'm super huge or anything like that. That's what she said. But, you know, to be on a panel with those guys of that caliber, it was absolutely phenomenal. Something I would definitely, you know, took a lot of pride in. Then this video, I got hacked. So if you didn't know, I got phished. It wasn't really a hack. I got phished. It was through an airdrop, and basically somebody had asked, or I thought the airdrop was asking for a signature from my Ether wallet. At that time, I didn't know what that was. I found out the hard way. It was a $10,000 investment that, of course, because of the bear market, was down to about $2,400 they got from me. And, you know, it was definitely a sad day, like, you know, because you only lose your crypto if you actually lose your crypto or you sell it. So that was definitely a hard day. And, you know, within an hour, I made this video because I decided, you know, it was so important. Like, even though there was a part of me that wanted to, like, not tell people because I wanted to almost be like, I didn't want people to know how stupid I was to give over that information. Like, if they had asked for a private key, of course, I would have been like, absolutely not. But they asked for a signature, and I didn't know what that was. And it seemed to make sense with the email. It was early in the morning. I hadn't even had my coffee or my energy drink yet. And I blew that one big time. So, you know, it was cool to be transparent with the community, though, and tell them what had happened and be honest. And some people in the community stepped up and gave some donations. It wasn't even close to what I lost. Like, I probably got in donations like $100, $150, somewhere around there. I lost $2,400 that was previously $10,000. But you know what? It meant a lot to me that the community did anything. Like, that meant so much to me that people saw what I was going through and they, you know, sent in donations and stuff like that. Thought it was really cool. Don't even really have donation addresses anymore or anything like that because, you know, we do sponsor content and things like that. We've grown to the point where we can do that. So this is actually our most viewed video we ever had. I'm done buying Bitcoin, super negative video. It was so funny. I was like, I'm not going to buy Bitcoin until it goes down to 2,500 because we were sitting at like 3,150. And that was the all-time low, and I turned around and bought like a bunch of Bitcoin the next week. So, you know, with the videos, with the thumbnails, they got to be a little clickbaity. People had to be interested in it. But not only was this our most viewed video ever at almost 15,000 views, it also was our most disliked video ever. So, had like 62 dislikes on it, I think. People don't like the clickbait. You guys know I don't go too crazy with it, you know, sometimes. This was a little clickbaity, I guess. But, you know, definitely was pretty significant. And then, of course, this leads us up to where we're at today with our Fresh 5 videos. I've got professional headshots done that I use on all my thumbnails now. So the evolution of the thumbnail and the channel and the videos has all just been improvement. Something I'm very proud of, you know, to say that I've never like been like content to be like, okay, this is what the channel is going to be like from here on out. So, you know, we have the Fresh 5 videos. We have that format. We do news videos every single day. Well, not doing one today because I spent like 19 hours editing this video. But for the most part, every day we're doing Fresh 5 news videos. You get 5 news stories, top 5 stories of the day, countdown style. We also got other segments that we weave in. Of course, you get your iOS tea break every single day. So, you know, definitely something that's been pretty cool to watch, the growth of the channel. And, you know, big shout out to the BitSquad. Big shout out to everybody that's been supporting me since day 1, since day 342, whatever it's been. If you are in BitSquad, you are family to me. So thank you everybody so much. I guess I'm just going to end it the way I ended it all. BitBoy out.